to the side and back. My name is Tokiku Uzuru, also known as Toki, and in today's video I am going to be talking about my personal self-esteem journey. The only reason why I have this idea specifically is because when I was editing last week's video, I was thinking about how I don't feel comfortable with editing videos and other people being able to hear my voice as I am editing my videos. But there's also having to look at my face while I'm trying to speak in set videos as I'm editing the video. And knowing I don't like my voice. I don't like how it sounds recorded. I'm gonna be real serious and real honest for like a good, this entire video pretty much. I don't like how I look. As much as me saying I don't like my visual image definitely makes it seem like I have low self-esteem, I would beg to differ. I did have low self-esteem. I think it's pretty much like not low, but still not high enough for me to just be able to be happy and not overthink all of the things that I'm doing as I'm recording this video. But I thought it'd be another way of you getting to know me, but two, a way in which I can be like, hey, I definitely had a problem with self-esteem, still kind of have a problem with my own image, my own self-image. I'm here to go ahead and be like, I was at a lower point and now I'm not there anymore, and I just wanted to go ahead and talk about how I got here, where I am. Now, pretty much like every type of journey, quote unquote, that you go on in life, normalizing your self-esteem levels is not going to be a linear journey. Not only will you feel different day to day, but like your environment can also affect the way that you look, or the way that you see yourself, or the way that you think about yourself. Your physical surroundings do have an effect on the way that you think. Now, with all that being said, we can actually get on to the meat and potatoes of this video. That's funny for me to say. The first thing I want to point out is when I was younger, I just thought that everyone had moments in which their self-esteem is low, and I would probably just grow out of it. I don't think I grew out of it, but I do think that it was around late 2015 and honestly throughout 2016 that I started doing small things to overall affect my self-esteem and self-image. Back in 2015, I can honestly say that was probably the lowest I have ever felt. I was constantly feeding myself negative talk. I did not like who I was becoming, and I essentially thought that there was just something wrong with me because everyone else seemed to have like their self-esteem stuff dealt with. It's not even a problem for them anymore. So around the beginning of 2016, the year that everything seemed to be going downhill, I decided to make that entire year what I called my Triheart Year. To make a long explanation short, there is a song by 5 Seconds of Summer that was titled Try Hard, and one of the lyrics was, "She's 17, I told her I'm 20. The idea of the song was that maybe the person that they're singing from the perspective of was trying too hard to get with this girl. That they started noticing that they weren't themselves anymore. But only taking out that one line I mentioned earlier, 2016 was the year I was supposed to be turning 17. So I thought it would be best to have that, to set 2016 as we are going to start doing, we're actually going to start doing stuff to help reach whatever goal we had at that moment. Now, at that moment, I wanted to be a recording artist. I wanted to be a musician. And also a songwriter. So twice I auditioned for The Voice. The first one was a video submission for auditioning, which I also didn't understand how that went. But the second one was me signing myself up for the in-person auditions that would happen the next year. I ended up buying myself a guitar so I can go ahead and learn how to play it and hopefully write more songs using it. And to end 2016, specifically around December, I decided to try out being a vegetarian. Solely because the story I was writing, the main character was a vegetarian, and I wanted to go ahead and have that personal experience so I can write from personal experience. As of me recording this, it is 2022 and I am still a vegetarian. And as much as I was trying to work on, hey, let's go ahead and get ourselves to this goal specifically, now looking back at it, I am now understanding that that was the foundation of, we need to get you liking life a bit more and not being completely negative about things. So now we move on to 2017 to 2019, which for me I'm thinking about the fact that it's 3 years, and with the amount of stuff that has actually happened recently, as in like the last 2 years, the last 2 to 3 years, it seems like a long time ago. But what I decided to do then was, well, what I found out I just did in general was I was fine-tuning my interests, trying to figure out what I was into and kind of having a decent understanding of why I was into it. This was also around the same time that I started taking care of my physical health. Originally, it was me trying to lose weight, which honestly didn't end well. But just overall, throughout that entire time, I was trying to not talk to myself or talk about myself so negatively. And now that I'm looking back, I think I did a pretty good job. Now, the third part is the 2022 now, which again, does not sound like a lot of time, but a lot has happened. So around mid 2019, I started getting into learning more about the metaphysical stuff, otherwise known as witchcraft. And I also started this YouTube channel, again, around the same time. So 2020 was more of me focusing on that, having to deal with how those things affected my day-to-day life and overall my brain. Understanding that I didn't really like the way I physically looked. So am I able to change it? Which later on found out that it's probably best for me to deal with my negative relationship with food first before I decide to start losing weight. And overall, just giving myself permission to do and be whoever and whatever I wasn't able to do or be. Currently, I am dealing with caring for the wounded inner child that holds all of the trauma that I've gone through, as well as dealing with working on self-worth. And overall, I don't hate myself, which is good. We're getting somewhere. But as I said earlier, I decided I need to work more on thinking that I'm worthy enough to love myself. That is where we are. So, that is all. Um, there's a lot of things that I didn't touch up in this video that happened throughout that entire time. It's kind of because it's either too personal that I don't want to share it, or I've already created a video talking about it specifically. And I think that's surprisingly enough, giving more context to how my videos got to the way that they are now. If anything, I hope me giving my experience on dealing with my own self-esteem and finding the little smaller bits and pieces that also affect self-esteem. I hope me expressing my journey, sharing it, and also talking about the ups and the downs and like me going through life while having to deal with that helps to either give you examples of what you could do, or like inspires you in some way to make some sort of move to do better for you. And now that I will close the video off with that, I get to do the stereotypical YouTuber outro, where I, as a stereotypical YouTuber, would ask you to do the following. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell to be notified of whenever I post, and put any type of questions, comments, concerns, or ideas for future videos into the comment section down below. But with all that being said, my name is Tokiku Uzuru, also known as Toki, and this is Toki saying Toki out.